What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. This video we're going to be taking a look at the FireDisc. That's right, FireDisc. And this is a great accessory to have as an outdoor cooker. And again, the theme here, if you've noticed, we've done the Green Mountain, we've done the Blackstone, and now we're going to look at the FireDisc. These are all portable, so this can break down super easy into 3 pieces and go. So you can take this camping, tailgating, you know, wherever you want to do it, to a party, if you're going to be cooking, the caterer, whatever. This is an easy portable solution for the FireDisc. So it says here, built to haul, cook it all. That's the whole theme here with the FireDisc. Now, this, I mentioned, is in 3 parts. The stand comes apart, just lift up, and it basically just intersects in the middle and gives you a stand here to cook with. You hook up a 1-pound propane tank if you wish, or if you have an adapter hose, you can hook it up to a regular 20-pound, or even a 5-pound if you can find one of those, and hook that up with an adapter. So you aren't limited to the 1-pound propane tanks, but in this demo we're going to use a Flame King refillable, which I also have a video on, of how you can actually refill your own 1-pound tanks and stop going out and buying the actual tank and spending a lot of money. I also have an accessory here. This is the, you know, kind of like the spatula grandioso. I mean, look at this thing, and it's even got a bottle opener on this. So it acts as a nice thing to just hook on to the actual FireDisc. Now let's get into the specs of this bad boy. 5-year warranty, 5, count them. So what this bad boy brings you here is, this is a 36 inch tall, so 3 foot stand. So you're cooking at a pretty good height. This is also available in red. This is the black version, obviously. I think they call this jet black. Again, it's collapsible. There's no assembly required whatsoever. Once you get this and unbox it, you basically just put all these together and you're good to go. It has a 1-minute cleanup, so it's super simple. It's got a 22-inch cooking surface. It is clean burning, and it is powder coated for high heat. You're going to treat this like a skillet, like cast iron. Basically, you're going to want to season it and keep it seasoned at all times. One thing too I want to point out, having this as level as possible is definitely something that you'd want to do. You don't want this to be able to push, like if I'm putting pressure on it, you don't want it to wiggle like a table that has a short leg or something, right? You want to try to get this as level as possible on whatever surface, so you've got kind of a even burn or cook surface. You don't want heat adjusted based on that it's not level and you got one area that's just not cooking or whatever. So the level you can get it, the better. So what we're going to do is, I have seasoned it, it's ready to go. We're going to do a cook on this. We're going to fire it up, and we're going to cook some potatoes, onions, and smoked sausage in it, and you'll come along with that journey, see how well this thing does. Super easy again to set up and even clean. I think the key thing is here, you're going to want to keep this bad boy seasoned, and I actually have a lid that I purchased. You can go and find them on Amazon. You don't have to get the expensive ones that FireDisc actually offers. At first they didn't offer a lid for these things, but I would highly recommend getting a lid, especially for the winter months that you're not using it, to keep the lid on it, to keep any kind of contaminants and stuff from getting into your seasoned cooking surface there. You don't want that. You don't want bugs and spiders and crap to crawl in there and get stuck and die and yuck, right? I had this covered, and it still looks a little rough, but I'm hoping that, you know, I can continue to season it and continue to keep this surface looking really good. Again, it's powder coated for high heat, and you want to go through at least a 3-time seasoning process when you first get this before I would start using it. Alright, enough of that. Let's go ahead. We're going to light this bad boy up. We're going to let it get warm, and we're going to cook, and we'll be right back. Alright, we're going to light this bad boy up. We put a little bit of oil in here, just regular old vegetable oil. You can use whatever. This is canola. So we're just going to turn this to low, and we're going to light the fire underneath. There we go. Just like that. We've got a nice fire. And I'm actually going to increase it to high, so you've got and off, and then you've got low, medium, and high. So we've got the flame burning underneath. Gonna let this heat up a little bit. There's a nice little oil. We'll bring you in here just a little bit here, as you can see. Got a nice little pond of oil right there in the middle, and the whole thing is fairly seasoned. And we'll go under here, and you can see the burner is right under there. Alright, so keep in mind too, this thing gets very, very hot, so you don't want any little kids running around. They could actually knock this off. Not that it's easy to knock off, but if they ran into it, definitely be a hazard. And this surface all around it gets very hot as well, so take note that it is dangerous to cook around kids with this thing, so would not recommend it. Alright, we're going to go in, we're going to get the ingredients, let this heat up a little bit, we'll be right back. Alright, I did the onion test and got a sizzle, so we're going to go ahead and dump in our ingredients. Again, this is just a smoked potato and onion, smoked sausage and potatoes and onions. So let's go ahead and dump this in. If you have grease in here, make sure you don't put it right directly in the grease, because you could splatter yourself. There we go. This does get very hot very quickly. So you should be cooking, once you ignite this, you should be cooking pretty quickly. One thing when you do cook, try to get your stuff centered, but you want to cook quickly. Of course, the hottest part of this is always going to be the middle. And as things start to cook that you don't want in the middle anymore, start to bring them out to the sides, because they're cooler. Kind of consider those, it's still going to cook, but it's more of a warm zone than a cook zone. So as stuff starts to finish, maybe something cooks a little uneven, then you start pulling the stuff you think is done out to the side. And we're going to spread this out just a little bit. Try to get all these taters cooked. And this is a simple meal. If you want to make this your first meal, go for it. Otherwise, you know, people do shrimp cooks, all sorts of stuff in these things. With the lid, you can almost treat it like a wok. Water in here. You can use this as like a wok, like a huge wok actually, and cook like Asian dishes with it if you so desired. So you've got a lot of options. So anyway, we're going to keep cooking. We'll be back, give you a couple of updates here as we go. And you can see the finished product. Stick around. Alright, just a little cook update. Looking good. Spreading it out. Getting it all nice and cooked up. You can hear there's a little bit of wind today. So it does fan the flame a little bit underneath. So that another condition that you might want to consider. They do sell some flame guards that you can actually set up. But know that on a windy day, it's going to probably change the way your cooking surface works, because that flame is getting blown around a little bit underneath there. So I did want to bring that up. But as you can see, our lunch here is progressing very nicely. And it's about time to eat. And this smells delicious. We'll be back, guys, with finished product. And bon appetit! Look at that. We've got a real nice looking, if it focuses, lunch. Let's go eat. Alright guys, let's wrap this up because I am full and that was amazing. This thing, easy cleanup. By the way, you want to look at a perfectly caramelized onion? That is it. Those onions turned out to be amazing. So did the smoked sausage, so did the potatoes. I used some seasonings. I used like Blackstone's all-purpose seasoning and some salt, some crushed black pepper, some onion powder, some garlic powder, and some minced little tiny onions on top of the ones I sliced up a whole onion. This was about 4 potatoes, maybe 5 potatoes, 1 medium-sized onion, and then 2 smoked sausage links, just all made up into here. Cleanup's going to be super easy. I'm just going to take a paper towel as soon as this is all cooled off and just wipe it down and make sure that it's seasoned. I could go ahead and season it again, just another quick burn, let it cool that way. I also wanted to point out the lid. So this is not a FireDisc lid. This is a Winco. It's a stock pot cover, but it acts like a cover on the FireDisc. So if you want to save some dough, I'll have a link to this lid in the show notes, so you can actually save a little money, because this works just as good. Fits like a glove, and not the OJ glove. But again, just an amazing little FireDisc to add to your arsenal of cooking and outdoor possibilities. Just an amazing little gadget. And if you wanted to see it broke down real quick, let's just do this. Let's take the lid off. I'm just going to show you the underneath. This comes off, and this is the actual two legs. They just intersect. That's the burner in the middle. And this thing isn't cooled off yet, so we're not going to tear it down. But anyway, that's the FireDisc. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Check the show notes for links for everything hopefully you see here. And as always, guys, subscribe to the show. And as always, thanks for watching and have a good one.